Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Chit Chat and Painting. So, since the last video, things happened. First of all, I bought a new pack of oil pastel, which we are going to open together in this video and test it to see if it's worth buying or not. But before doing that, I'm going to share with you some of the paintings I did in the previous week. So the first one is about power of women, and that's why we chose this reference to paint from. It is painted with oil pastel, and currently I'm using Giotto as my oil pastels, which is this one. As you see, it has a good rich texture so far. I like it. This is also a martini. This one is one of my favorites because I love coffee, and this is about the thirst for coffee. This one, it's a new technique I did. So before doing this, I used oil pastel for the whole work, but for this one, I decided to do a different thing. So I painted the background and everything first with watercolor to have a waterish texture, and then on top I added oil pastel for the objects I wanted to be the main focus. So this is how it turned out. It is cool. So the next one is also one of my favorites. I don't know, it just seems delicious and I love the colors. Then we have this one. This is one of the newest paintings I did. I also love this one too because it is a combination of watercolor on oil pastel. First, I did a rough sketch with watercolor, and then on top of it, I went over with oil pastel. And this one, you will notice this one if you're a fan of House of Dragon. So this is supposed to be Princess Rhaenyra, and there's something you should know about me. I hate painting portraits, and I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable doing it. I usually paint myself. I still like it though because it is again a combination of watercolor and oil pastel, which gave it this cool vibe. So the background is watercolor and whole Rhaenyra is oil pastel. I don't really like to work on details so much in my paintings. I like to bring out the overall feeling of the subjects and the people, not the details, because I don't know, I just like the feeling of seeing something which is not specific enough, but you can get it, and that's it. And this one is a pack of cigarettes with a cup of coffee. This one is also one of my favorites. The technique is also just oil pastel. And this one was actually my newest work, I think. This is all the things I made on these papers, but one other thing that I did, and I'm so thankful for it, is this one. I just love it so much. This was my first painting of oil pastel on canvas because previously I did oil paints on canvas and not much of oil pastel on canvas, but this was the first experience of applying the oil pastel on the canvas, and it turned out great. I love it so much because it has the underlying layer of this beautiful color which gives it this warm atmosphere. The story behind it is personal. By the way, I launched my website. So in my website, I have all my prints and originals there. But beside that, I have launched a newsletter, which is totally free. From time to time, send you guys who subscribe to my free newsletter the story behind one of my artworks. And the current email that I'm sending to my newsletter members is the story behind this one. So if you're interested to see what was the story behind it, just go ahead in my website, the link is in the description, and subscribe to my free newsletter and you will see the whole story. You will get it like immediately. Also guys, if you're interested in any of my works like originals or prints or even stickers, I did some cool stickers too. They're all in my website, so go and check it. Maybe you're interested in it. Now let's move on to the fun part, which is unboxing this pack of new oil pastel. I have this cute cutter which I'm going to use this to unbox. So let's see. Will I ruin the whole packing? Wow, it just opened. I was thinking it opens in another way, but it just opened. So in here we have the name of all the colors within the packet, and let's see it. I love it so far. Some of the colors are amazing. I really love these two, and this one I know is going to be the most I'm gonna use. There's also one green I love, which maybe this or this. It doesn't have that specific green I love. So the green that I love in Giotto brand is this one, which is very beautiful. I use it in lots of my paintings, but here I don't see this color, so that's kind of sad. But beside that, it has some rich vibrance and pigments. Now let's try it out to see how it is actually on the paper. Guys, about the stickers before, these are some of the stickers I have on my website. First, I'm going to apply some of the Giotto on the paper so that we can compare the colors together. So this is one of the colors we are going to compare. This is from Giotto, and this is a nice pink. So I'm going to compare this one with this pink over here to see how different they are. In colors, they are so different. This is more of a bluish pink, like it has blue tones in it, but this is more of a rich pink. So first we are going to try the Giotto. So this is how Giotto works, and like if I put too much pressure, this is how it turns out, and this is with the light pressure. And let's see what this Mungyo brand actually does. So applying it, this is the normal pressure I use. I was expecting more actually, because I thought it would be more like creamier, but it's not that creamy actually. With full pressure, it's the same as the middle pressure, and the light pressure is like this. So for the light pressure, I would prefer Mungyo, but for the high and medium pressure, I still prefer Giotto. Giotto is cheaper than Mungyo, but I think in texture it does a pretty good job. It's creamier, but this one, it's not giving color on color effect. Let's see if I want to add some other color on it, how it will turn out. Let's see, I'm gonna add this blue on top. The cover is actually good. Like when I'm applying a color on top of it, it covers it pretty good. Let's compare to Giotto blue. As you guys see, Giotto has more coverage and pigment I can see, but comparing to Mungyo, like even when you try to blend, still the pigments are very low and the paper is popping out from underneath. So honestly, I was expecting more from this brand because I don't know, I've heard so much about it, and I've not heard that much about Giotto, so I thought this would actually win Giotto, but now that I'm using them and comparing them, I feel like if I wanted to choose again, I would definitely go with Giotto and not Mungyo. Now let's compare the blending. So when I apply this Mungyo brand with the pink, let's say, here, and I'm gonna use my finger for blending them together. It's smooth there. Maybe for the layers underneath, if you're going to create this beautiful underneath layer, yes, the blending technique would work for that. And comparing to Giotto now, we have the pink and we have the blue. The blending technique in Giotto doesn't fade away the colors, it blends them. But what I usually like to do for blending is that I add a underneath layer, and then on top I add my other color and try to blend them together with this technique, like this. Let's see if it works with this Mungyo brand too. So I'm going to apply the blue, and then I will apply the pink on top and see if we can blend them. It has more of a pastelish thing, so it is still doing the thing, but the colors and the pigments and the coverage does not reach to Giotto. I'm gonna start with the white. The page itself is not that white, but still this is what it gives us. Not that visible.
I never thought I'd fly over my own state. Something about those city lights were calling out my name.
Basically, so far I like all of them except for this very lemonish yellow, which is, it's not too pigmenty. That's the only reason I'm not a fan of it. I like the grays and the black. Great. Now on another page, I'm going to compare with Giotto. This is our pink, our blue, so these are the colors of I have of Giotto still. So if I'm gonna compare them together, I can say that I like that amount of variety in colors that Mungyo has. I like some of the colors, like these two greens or the grays, or I don't know, this one. They are more lifelikey, but Giotto, if I'm going to compare with this one, the amount of variety in colors does not reach that. But I like the texture of Giotto more, and I also like the blending in Giotto better. But some of the colors are really good and rich. Like, I really like this black color compared to Giotto. It has a great coverage, but Giotto, like, it still leaves some spots empty in mainly all of the colors, but Mungyo covers it much better, covers the whole paper much better. Since we're already here, I'm going to also share with you the differences of paintings painted with Giotto and Faber-Castell, because I thought it might be helpful for you guys. My first pastel was Faber-Castell. For instance, this one was painted with Faber-Castell, and I'm using this really simple Faber-Castell oil pastels. So this is a painting painted with Faber-Castell. As you see, it still turned out great, but the texture does not, I mean, I like the oil pastel to be so textury, and this one doesn't have it. But for instance, this one was painted with Giotto, and I really love the texture of each color. Or the new paintings I shared with you today at the beginning of the video, they were all painted with Giotto and full of textures, beautiful. I like Giotto so much. I'm gonna give Mungyo a try, an attempt to see if it can win Giotto, but so far, I don't know. I think Giotto still wins for me. But in the next video, we can compare them in the painting. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it helps. I will attach the link to buy both Mungyo and Giotto oil pastels down in the description box. And let me know in the comments if you have any of them and what works better for you. Or if you have a bad experience with an oil pastel, also write me in the comments and share your experiences with the others in the chat. And thank you so much, and see you in the next video. Bye!